for both of us, the blessing and the opportunity to be able to play this long.
We feel like we've got one of the best quarterbacks in football.
Drew Brees is one of the all-time greats.
He's had a great career, and he's been a great player for a long time.
Father Time's going to get us at some point, but we're trying to beat him out right now.
Huge week 9 in the NFL. Bucs Saints round 2. Need I say more? Brady Brees. We cannot wait for that. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take on a Feel Good Friday. I'm Molly Karen Rose. I will be with your guys as always. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Tim Tebow stopping by as well. Huge Football Friday. A lot of NFL to dive into, including this. The Niners has their championship window officially closed. And is it time to deal Jimmy G? Plus this, in the second hour, the Houston Rockets have a new head coach. That is Stephen Silas. He'll join us to talk about the return of the NBA, all things Western Conference on December 22nd. And former Packers great Donald Driver will join us live to weigh in on that bad man. Plus, Devontae Adams, is he the best receiver in the league? Don't go anywhere. All right, you heard it. Brady Brees in prime time. New Orleans taking the first one back in week 1. An embarrassment of riches now, though. That was before Antonio Brown became a Buck. AB, talk to me.
I took a lot of time off of the game, to reevaluate myself, to look within, to get a better perspective of myself, working on myself within and without. And to be in this position, we followed the mission, and to get back on track, is what I'm here to do. I just feel like I'm a better person. I want to say I'm a different person, but I'm a better person. Learning a lot about myself, working on myself for a year and a half. So I think I'm a better person.
All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Stephen A., Max, Ryan Clark. Let's get it. Stephen A., I want to start with you. You heard him there, AB, saying he's a different person. He's worked on himself for a year and a half. Do you think all the pressure right now is on Brady and Brown?
Well, I think so. Not Brown per se. He's been out of the game for a little close to 2 years or what have you. And so we know how electrifying he can be when he's on his game. But he deserves a little bit time to get, things, get the wheels in motion and do what he has to do. I still think that he'll have a relatively decent game. I expect an instant impact. But he's not under the pressure. I would tell you that Brady and the Buccaneers are to some degree. Certainly you want to win your division. Certainly you don't want a situation where you lose 2 games to New Orleans this season. I'm looking at guys like Mike Evans too, though. I'm looking at Mike Evans having 1 reception for 2 yards in week 1. I'm looking at the chemistry between him and Tom Brady that obviously needed to develop and has developed as the season has progressed. You won't have O.J. Howard this time around because he's out for the season, but Gronk has been balling. He didn't do much in game 1. And so I'm thinking about Brady and Gronk. I'm thinking about Brady and Mike Evans. I'm thinking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones and what have you, and rushing for more than 85 or 86 yards collectively as a team. And I'm interested to see what that defense does against a Drew Brees that we weren't even sure was going to play this week, even though we all believe that he will. In the end, what it comes down to is that New Orleans is 1-0 against Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. Let's see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are able to do. Let's see how their offense is clicking against this New Orleans Saints defense now that you've got a few weeks under your belt and the chemistry seems to be there, and now that you've added Antonio Brown. I'll be interested in seeing what happens with that, because if nothing happens, I think that that's going to give us all cause to pause.
It would look on the surface like there's more pressure on Tom Brady. He has all these weapons, he has an elite defense, and he just got AB. But you know what I noticed about Brady and the Bucs? We're quick to make excuses for them. And they don't need excuses. They're really good. But they've had 2 losses for week 1 to the Saints. Excuses, Brady just got there. And you can call them explanations if you want. That's fine. But he just got there. They got to get to know each other. There's no continuity like with Brees. And neither team nor quarterback played particularly well. And then Brady lost in Chicago to Nick Foles. And it was because Foles made plays at the end of a game that Brady didn't make. And the next week he came out and much more focused, and they made good on what was happening. And, the week before there were no mental errors. And, you can see the trajectory of their season getting better and better. He gets cut a lot of slack in that way. And the Saints have been sort of flying under the radar. Let's not forget, before before the preseason moves with Brady on the Bucs, and then Gronk followed him to the Bucs, and people are looking there, and then the season starts, and the Packers catch fire, and Seattle's on fire, and Russell Wilson's an MVP candidate. Early on, the Saints were a really good Super Bowl pick. But they were without Michael Thomas. They were without Emmanuel Sanders, who was a really good move in the offseason to bring in that number 2 receiver that they've been lacking all these years. So Kamara's not just their second best receiver, like guy out of the backfield. And because of this, I think the kind of sense is that the Saints really maybe aren't in that uppermost echelon. But now he's got Thomas and Sanders back. Kamara's been balling. They traded for Quan Alexander, the linebacker, to shore up a defense, which in recent years has been good among the teams with dynamic offenses. Now there's a spotlight on the Saints because the Bucs caught fire. If the Bucs lose the game, AB just got there. Maybe Brady was forcing things to him, like the way when Devontae Adams got back, Rodgers was forcing a little bit. If the Saints lose, people look and say, oh, you beat the Bucs early in the season before they got going. But now that they're going, what's up? Same old New Orleans Saints look good in the preseason, and as things unfold, not quite good enough to get over the top, even though we're still in midseason. I actually think right now there's more pressure on Drew Brees and the Saints.
See, I don't think that. I don't think that Drew Brees has to feel that pressure. And also, when we speak about AB, like the one thing I know about him is he feels no pressure when it comes to football. That man lives, eats, and breathes success on the football field. It's just what he does. Like playing the wide receiver position for him, it just isn't hard. It's something that's extremely natural. And the people I've talked to from down there, they say he's looked phenomenal. Like obviously he's going to be extremely fresh, but he's a guy who stays in shape, a guy who works. And for all of those things that we could say about his off-field life or about some of the decisions he made, he kind of reminds me of Floyd Mayweather in the sense that when it came to his craft, it was always pure. When it came to his craft, he made sure he was ready to go. And because of that, I put it on Tom Brady. I do think this is on Tom Brady. I do think there's a ton of pressure on Tom Brady. For many of the reasons, Max, you always mention why this isn't necessarily the most impressive year from Tom Brady, because we basically said you put any quarterback in this position with those type of weapons, now you add AB, with that type of defense, that they would win games. But what is Tom Brady credited with amongst or above any other quarterback? Winning meaningful football games. We've never thought to ourselves, Tom Brady's the best we've ever seen. We never said that. We didn't talk about him like Aaron Rodgers. We didn't talk about him like Patrick Mahomes. But he became the GOAT because he won.